Hey, Seth. OMJ. No, okay, that's not it either.
That should be the freaking cold open, though.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to Higher Ed Pulse, your Monday morning energizer covering insights and trends in higher ed marketing and enrollment. I'm Mallory Wilsey, bringing over 15 years of ed tech and marketing expertise to your earbuds.
And I'm Seth Odell, joining the Pulse with my own adventures from leading marketing at top universities to founding Kanahoma, one of the industry's fastest growing digital marketing agencies.
Each week, we bring you the kind of insider insights you typically only find over cocktails with your pals at a conference.
It's fast, it's fun, and it's designed for you, the busy higher ed professional.
You're not just listening to another podcast.
You're checking the pulse of higher education.
Higher Ed Pulse is part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher ed professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com. Welcome back to Higher Ed Pulse. I'm Mallory, and I've got Seth here with me. Hello, friend. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Mallory. I loved your episode on March Madness last week, but I couldn't believe it. You made it through an entire episode without mentioning artificial intelligence. Speaking of AI, we've got a special treat for our listeners today, don't we?
We sure do. Today, we're taking a more cautionary stance on AI, but here's the twist. Our discussion today has a bit of that AI flair. We're talking about more than you might realize at first listen.
The plot thickens. You'll want to listen to this one all the way to the end, friends, to hear that mic drop moment.
So listeners know that our conversations are typically inspired by articles we read or conversations we hear. Today's conversation was in part inspired by the very serious and recent faux pas with Air Canada and its AI chatbot. As much as Seth and I champion the integration of AI and technology into our professional lives, we also recognize that we can't overlook the unpredictability and challenges it brings along. It's like walking a tightrope. You have to constantly balance between leveraging AI's potential benefits and managing its pitfalls. AI is gaining more and more traction on our campuses. That is undeniable. I was just at the CupWrap conference and presented on AI. It was standing room only. I was excited that nearly everyone in the room had at least tried ChatGPT, but people also felt like they were still in beginner mode. AI was certainly the buzz of the conference, but there was certainly some hesitancy too. I had a lot of one-on-one conversations after my session about ethical dilemmas, campus leadership concerns, what information you should and shouldn't be uploading, and so on. Listeners know we have taken a very pro-artificial intelligence stance in the past on Higher Ed Pulse. I certainly believe that it is a transformational tool, but it isn't a magic wand.
Exactly. While these innovations are revolutionary, I think we need to temper our expectations with a dose of reality. The implementation gap between what AI promises and what it can realistically deliver in educational settings is wider than most of us like to admit. There's a learning curve, not just for the students, but for the institutions themselves.
Yep. The excitement around AI often glosses over the practical challenges. For instance, while a chatbot can provide immediate responses to student inquiries, which is incredible, there's also the question of how accurately it interprets and responds to more complex or nuanced student needs.
And it's not just about accuracy, but also about context. A chatbot might be able to tell a student what documents they need for their application, but can it empathize with them about the stresses of applying to college? Can it encourage them in the same way a human advisor might? There's a depth of interaction that we're not yet seeing AI replicate fully.
You're touching on something critical here, Seth, the human element. AI has the potential to free up human resources, allowing faculty and staff to focus on what they do best, mentoring, teaching, and inspiring students. Yet this transition needs to be navigated carefully. As we integrate more AI into the educational process, finding that balance where technology enhances rather than replaces the human touch will be key. The reality is that AI is getting better and better at this. Our experiences with chatbots of the past have colored our impressions of what it is like to interact with this technology, when the reality is that chatbots, like Element 451's BoltBot, which are built on OpenAI's technology, actually can bring a style of empathy and warmth to conversations that do emulate the human touch. It's actually quite incredible.
But let's not forget, the implementation itself comes with its set of hurdles: budget constraints, technical infrastructure, training staff to work alongside AI tools, and ensuring data privacy and security. These are all significant considerations.
Right. The key is in the execution, mindful, strategic, and always with an eye on that balance between innovation and the irreplaceable value of human interaction.
And we need to address the elephant in the room. AI is not infallible. We've seen its potential, but let's not overlook the lessons learned from real-world missteps. You mentioned it a few minutes ago. Earlier this year, Air Canada lost a small claims court case against a grieving passenger when it tried and failed to disavow its AI-powered chatbot. The passenger claimed to have been misled on the airline's rules for bereavement fares when the chatbot hallucinated an answer inconsistent with airline policy. This is a prime example where a chatbot intended to aid customers ended up spreading misinformation.
That case really highlights a significant issue, doesn't it? When AI misinforms, it's not just a glitch in the system. It can have real impactful consequences on people's lives. It begs the question, when AI errs, who's held accountable? The AI itself can't be responsible, so it falls back on the organizations that deploy these technologies. Even though Air Canada tried to argue that it couldn't be held liable for the chatbot's inaccuracies.
And it's not just about accountability, but also about trust. When students interact with AI technologies, from chatbots answering admission queries to personalized learning platforms, there's an inherent trust that the information and guidance they receive are accurate. Each misstep chips away at that trust, not just in the technology, but in the institution itself. There's a fine line there. On one hand, AI can scale services and provide immediate responses in ways humans simply can't match. On the other, these errors, these moments of unreliability, highlight the importance of oversight and human intervention.
It underscores the necessity for institutions to not just implement AI solutions, but to continuously monitor and evaluate them. It's about creating systems where AI decisions are regularly audited, where there's a seamless integration of human oversight to catch and correct these errors before they affect students. It's not machine versus institution, it's machine in service to the institution and by extension to the students. The goal of integrating AI into higher education should always be about enhancing the student experience, making it more personalized, efficient, and accessible, but never at the cost of accuracy, trust, and the human touch.
Mallory, you've been living this for more than a year. Do you honestly think higher ed is ready for AI?
Well, I have some data on that. Cengage's annual Digital Learning Pulse survey recently dropped. The link is in the show notes, and it paints a rather concerning picture of our preparedness for the AI wave. 77% of four-year administrators and 89% of two-year administrators feel their institutions are not ready for the changes AI is set to bring. It's not just the administrators, faculty, and even trustees echo this sentiment. If we're barreling toward this AI-infused future, are we building it on a shaky foundation?
That's a sobering thought. For me, this means investing in training for faculty and administrators, not just on how to use AI tools, but understanding the ethical implications of these tools will be critical. And let's not forget the role of policy in all this. As AI becomes more embedded in higher education, institutions, perhaps guided by broader educational policies, need to establish clear guidelines on AI use. This includes transparent communication with students about how AI is being used in their education and what data is being collected. It's back to the point about building trust.
Trust is the key word yet again. Getting ready for AI includes fostering an inclusive dialogue with all stakeholders involved on our campuses and actively working together to identify challenges, brainstorm solutions, and implement strategies that are informed by a wide range of experiences and expertise. Trust is enhanced by a culture of continuous learning and adaptation, where feedback loops help refine and improve AI applications in real time.
And as we develop these AI tools and strategies, it's crucial that we prioritize transparency and ethical considerations every step of the way. This includes clear communication about how AI is being used, what data is being collected, and how privacy and security are being safeguarded. I think our conversation today underscores the importance of cautious optimism and proactive strategies in navigating the integration of AI into our educational landscapes.
That's right. AI isn't just a tool we're adding to the educational toolkit. It's a force that's fundamentally reshaping the landscape of higher education, whether we like it or not.
So, I suppose it's time to let you all in on a little secret. This entire episode, every insight, debate, and so-called expert opinion wasn't exactly, how should I put it, human-generated. I think it's time to remind our listeners that today is April Fool's Day.
Ha 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 ha. That's right. From the script to the voices you've heard, AI's been the puppet master. ChatGPT lent us a hand in writing this entire conversation, literally from the initial outline to the final script you're hearing now. One morning last week, I built a custom GPT based on the past transcripts of our Pulse episodes, and I instructed the GPT to generate podcast scripts with Seth and my tone and style, and to construct the conversation based on topical research that I provided around this topic of AI challenges and cautions.
And our voices, courtesy of 11 Labs and their professional voice cloning capabilities, me talking right now? Well, it's not actually me. Mallory and I created indistinguishable AI versions of our voices, also based on our past Pulse episode recordings.
Oh, the irony, right? A whole episode about the cautionary tales and ethical quandaries of AI in education. And it turns out AI's been leading the charge the whole time. It is April Fool's Day, after all, and we couldn't resist the opportunity to have a little fun and show off just how far AI has come.
And here's the mic drop moment. AI, with all its complexities, managed to keep you engaged, pondering the future of education alongside us. It's a testament to the very potential we've been discussing. But don't worry, AI hasn't taken over just yet. Mallory and I are still here, very much human, and chuckling at our own AI-generated personas.
AI has the power to mimic, to create, to provoke thought, and even to entertain. But the human element, that's irreplaceable. The laughter, the spontaneity, the genuine connection we share with you, that's all us.
Let's keep the conversation going on LinkedIn. Did we fool you? What are your thoughts on AI's evolving role? Hop on LinkedIn and share your reactions. We promise the next episode will involve a little less AI and a lot more human Mallory and Seth.
And listeners, you can look forward to Thursday's Pulse Check episode, the third in our 5-part series on mergers and acquisitions. Dr. Robin Johnson, founder of Design Org Solutions, joins Kin to talk about managing change during an M&A process and being an effective leader and manager. They discuss topics like the integration of different teams and cultures and dealing with the uncertainty that comes with a merger or acquisition. It's a terrific discussion. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in, for laughing with us, and for pondering the future of AI in higher education.
And remember, staying one step ahead of the AI game means keeping your April Fool's radar finely tuned.
The Higher Ed Pulse is part of the Enrollify Podcast Network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too. Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional. Our show helps higher ed marketers and admission pros find their next big idea and features a selection of the industry's best as your hosts. Learn from Brian Gross, Eddie Francis, Jenny Lee Fowler, and so many of your favorite leaders in higher ed. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.